Hey, good evening, guys. How are you? Just adjusting my microphone here. Sorry about that. Nice to see you again here at talkinfight.com. You got Neil the Deal Show, and you got me, Neil the Deal, right here. We're talking Major League Baseball on Wednesdays. We're going to be changing our time from 8 p.m. to 8:30, just to let you know, guys out there. So each week we're going to move the shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Boxing to 8:30. Wednesday's Major League Baseball to 8:30, and Friday we're going to continue with the NHL at 8:30, so Eastern Standard Time. So again, thanks for coming out here at talkinfight.com. And yes, I was very skeptical about having this season, but I'm super excited. I am so excited about this Major League Baseball season, and our Toronto Blue Jays are going to absolutely blow everybody's socks off this year. They've been making deals left, right, and center in the offseason. And today they made a monster deal. So we'll talk about that a little later in the show. But first of all, I'd like to thank you all for the likes, the shares, and the subscriptions, and all the other jazz. The comments have been fantastic. And just keep them coming. I really appreciate it. Patrick down there at Safari Barbershops, always thanks a lot, buddy. I'll be coming down to see you soon. If you need a good haircut, go see Patrick and the team down at Safari Barbershops there on Lakeshore here in Mississauga. All right, so we got the great news of the week. The collective bargaining agreement in the Major League Baseball has been signed. It is a 5-year deal, Major League Baseball. The agreement is from 2022 to 2026. That's December 1st, 2026. The lockout lasted 99 days, making it the second longest baseball lockout in the history of baseball. And they got a last-second resolution to save the season, and I'm so happy about it because baseball is one of my favorite, probably my favorite sport. So growing up, it was my favorite sport, and man, I'm really looking forward to this season. We're going to go over a lot of stuff, a lot of teams, a lot of players, a lot of situations. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about. So let's start it off. We'll talk a little bit about the situation with the new collective bargaining agreement. So on Thursday of last week, 30 player representatives for the players voted unanimously 26-4 in favor of the agreement. There were 8 executive subcommittee guys that voted 8-0 to actually against the agreement, but the owners voted 30-0 to ratify the deal, and we got baseball, 162 games. They're going to run a bunch of double headers and add a few bunch of games here and there to make up. We lost about a week. Basically, we're starting a week late, but that'll be fine. An opening day is set for April 7th, and man, it's going to be a hell of a season. There's some fantastic players out there this year, young guys coming up. Our team is like I said, probably right at the top. For World Series champions this year, we're really we're stacking up the team huge. Like I'm talking so big that this team, I honestly believe, is better than the 2015-16 team that got to the ALCS final. With Donaldson and Bautista, and we had Encarnacion and that. But this team is looking just phenomenal. It's unbelievable what they've done there. So I want to thank the Blue Jays head office for what they've been doing. And, man, you guys have put together a hell of a team. So let's go over a little bit of the details of the new agreement and the things that were talked about and are now in place. So it's going to be a 12-team postseason field with 6 teams in each league making the playoffs, all right, which is a little new. Advertising will be allowed, like patches and decals on the helmets and stuff, sort of like in the NBA and World Juniors and World Championships and all this. So the advertising is now come into the game. There's a 45-day window for the Major League Baseball players or owners, to implement rule changes as far as the new collective bargaining agreement. This year will be the first year that the DH will be in both leagues. Up until this year, pitchers had to hit in the National League, but not as of this year. DH will be in not only the American League, but also in the National League. Also, the draft lottery will be put in place so that teams don't keep tanking. So that's good. That's kind of like in the NHL where they have the draft lottery, and what happens is the 5 or 6 teams that are at the bottom get a percentage chance. I guess they put the balls in the bingo thing, and away we go. That way, teams don't tank all the way down the stretch, so they can get that first pick overall. So I thought that was something that they should have done a long time ago. That's also draft pick inducements to discourage service time manipulation. There will also be a limited number of players that can be optioned to the minors. Like each player can only be optioned to the minors apparently 5 times per year. The major league minimum salary, we all know money was involved. It's currently for first year players $570,500. That's being moved up to $700,000 in the first year. And in the next 5 years, it will move up $20,000 increments each year, making it in 2026 the guys coming into the league, first year entry level guys, will be making $780,000. So not bad for not bad for a job there. Also, the pension benefits for retired players will be increased. That I really liked. They need to make a little more. The players of the past and a lot of them, like the hockey players, etc., are struggling at this time. So that helps them out. Medical benefits for the current players will be going up as well. And the last thing, players, this is interesting. Players will be playing in exhibition games in Mexico, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, London, in the UK, and Paris, France. So something like the NFL where they're going overseas and expanding the league. So that'll be interesting seeing the Major League Baseball teams playing in other countries. Uh, Moving into free agency, the next thing on the docket here tonight, guys, the free agency this year already has been going absolutely bonkers. There's huge contracts being handed out, and let's go through a bunch of the players that are great players that got huge contracts already. And we'll hopefully you'll be watching these players because I definitely like all of them. Uh, the Texas Rangers signed shortstop Corey Seager to a 10-year, $325 million contract. 10 years for $325 million, Corey Seager. The Colorado Rockies just signed third baseman Chris Bryant to a 7-year, $182 million contract today, which is good for Chris. Fantastic. 7 years, $182 million. These are huge numbers. The New York Mets signed pitcher Max Scherzer. 3 years, $130 million. Wow. And there's an opt out after the first year on that contract, but I don't think they're going to opt out because Scherzer is lights out, if you know what I mean. The Rangers also signed our boy from last year, second baseman Marcus Semien. 7 years, $175 million. We did tender him a qualifying offer, but he refused and ended up going to the Rangers. The Braves just recently, I believe yesterday, acquired first baseman, or a few days ago, first baseman Matt Olson from the Oakland A's. He signed an 8-year, $168 million contract with the Braves. These numbers are crazy. Seattle, earlier on in the year, signed pitcher Robbie Ray, our ace of last year, the reigning Cy Young Award winner. 5 years, $115 million. The Chicago Cubs pitcher, our old buddy there, Marcus Stroman. Good for Marcus. Signed a 3-year, $71 million contract with the Cubs. And the Mets, New York Mets, signed center fielder Starling Marte to 4 years, $78 million. So these are just giant numbers, guys, that these guys are getting paid. And all to them. It's a big season. It's 162 games. Then you got the playoffs. And then you got preseason 17 games. They're playing almost 200 games by the end of if you make it to the World Series, you're almost at the 200 game level. So huge numbers. And we're looking forward to a lot more signings around the league. And we'll let you know as they come each week here at the Neil the Deal Show. talkinfight.com MLB live. All right, so let's talk about our team now, the Toronto Blue Jays. Man, we've just been absolutely killing it with the signings. Ever since last year, these guys have really been vamping it up. I'm loving everything that they're doing. They're putting together a World Series quality team. Our starting lineup is possibly the best in the league. Our pitching is right up there. I'll put them up against any top five in the league. And man, the power we're going to have this year. We just picked up a guy today. We're going to go over that, and he's going to make a huge difference defensively and power. This team could literally go all the way. I'm laying down some money on the Toronto Blue Jays to win it all. Right now, I believe they're plus 750 with Houston. The Dodgers are the forerunners to win the World Series, and we're right behind them. So I'm not afraid of the Dodgers. Why would I be afraid of the Dodgers? Who's afraid of the Dodgers? They lost last year to Atlanta, so whatever. Watch this year. They're going to have a hell of a time with our guys, and we'll just smoke them out of the park with our hitting and our pitching. So I'm telling you. So some of the signings that are absolutely amazing that our front office, the Toronto Blue Jays, Ross Atkins has been able to secure this year. We signed Jose Barrios, 7 years, $131 million. They don't normally give out 7-year contracts. It's been a long time, I believe. The last one was Vernon Wells in 2006. So 7 years. We got Barrios. We picked up Kevin Gossman, free agent. We signed him 5 years, $110 million. Fantastic pitcher, like all-star, big time. So we got back-to-back all-stars. Uh, let's see. We also signed today. This is the guy we signed. Third baseman. Well, we traded for him and have him. His name's Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman for the Oakland A's is an amazing, amazing player. Now we've solidified our third base position, and that's going to ensure that Biggio and Espinal will probably back and forth at second, and that keeps Vladdy at first. So, man, they're looking so good now to have their infield with that third base defensive minded Chapman with power. I believe last year he hit 27 homers, something of this sort. He's going to make a huge difference for us and win those games. That make the difference, the close games. So, little bit about Chapman, guys. 2018, he won the platinum. Well, 2018, 2019, he won the platinum Golden Glove Award. He also won the Golden Glove Award in 2018, 19, and 21. And he also won the 2018 Wilson Defensive Player of the Year. So he was an all-star as well in 2019, and he just put up. Our team is so stacked now. They're the talk of the league, guys. The Toronto Blue Jays are the talk of the league. So I'm so looking forward to this season. It's not even funny. Now they're still looking for guys, which is great. They're trying to improve even more. They're thinking about a guy named Jose Ramirez, who was a third baseman for the Cleveland Guardians the last couple of years, and he's a 3-time All-Star. But they're thinking if we pick him up, they might move him to second base. Now, if we get Jose Ramirez playing second, I don't know. This is like a superstar. This is like an all-star lineup, almost every player. I mean, we got Vladdy all-star. You'd have Ramirez all-star. You'd have Chapman all-star. It just goes on and on. George Springer's been an all-star. Teoscar Hernandez was an all-star last year. Our team is so stacked, it's unbelievable. Barrios was an all-star. Gossman's been an all-star. So, Hyun-Jin Ryu, all-star. So, our team is looking absolutely over the top, and I'm so looking forward to it. So, guys, this is probably what I feel is going to be our starting lineup on April 8th. Will be our first game against the Texas Rangers here at Skydome, our home opener. So this is the way I feel it's probably going to go. Leading off, this is our lineup and our hitting lineup. Leading off will be center fielder George Springer. Batting second will be shortstop Bo Bichette. Batting third will be first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Batting fourth will be the DH, Teoscar Hernandez. Batting fifth will be third baseman Matt Chapman. Batting sixth will be left fielder Lourdes Goriel Jr. Batting seventh will be Kevin Biggio or Espinal, depending on who's playing and who's got the hot hand at second. Uh, batting eighth will be Randall Grichuk, right field. I love Grichuk. He's going to get a lot of playing time this year. And batting ninth will be catcher Danny Jansen. So that's that lineup right there. We led the league in home runs last year, and we've improved on that in itself. And these guys are 1 year older. They're just going to get 1 year better. There's so many young guys on this team that aren't really. They don't play like young players. They play like veteran players. So I'm telling you, we're 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 definitely going to be in the mix this year in the American League East, and the Yankees and Boston and Tampa. You guys better watch out, man, because this year we're not taking no pictures. We're not taking no prisoners. We're going to win this thing once and for all and bring that World Series back to Toronto. Now, our starting pitching top five, I think we're going to go with a five-man rotation. Our number one will be Jose Barrios. He's a right-handed pitcher. Number two will be Kevin Gossman. He is a right-handed pitcher. Number three will be Hyunjin Ryu. He's a left-handed pitcher. Number four will be Alex Manoah, right-handed pitcher. And number five will be a new acquisition, Yusi Kikuchi. He's a left-handed pitcher, and he's a good pitcher as well. So that's going to be our rotation right now as far as the opening day is concerned. In the bullpen, we have Jordan Romano. He'll be our closer. He was last year. I'm looking at him going for 40 saves this year. I think he can pull it off no problem as long as he doesn't get injured. We also got left-handed pitcher Tim Meza, right-handed pitcher Yimi Garcia, right-handed pitcher Adam Simber, right-handed pitcher Trevor Richards, left-handed pitcher Ryan Baraki, right-handed pitcher Julian Merriweather. Merriweather could be a big one this year. He was injured basically all of last year. Looked fantastic, but he could do some damage. And the last one is right-handed pitcher Ross Stripling. Now, if any of these guys get starters go down, they can bring in Stripling. We also have a bunch of other guys. We have Nate Pearson. They don't really have a spot for Nate right now. He'll probably be a middle reliever, I would think, to start and see how it goes. But man, Nate Pearson doesn't even have a spot on our team, basically, and he throws 100 miles an hour. It's unbelievable. So, and he's young. He's a superstar in the waiting, and this could be his year. So we got all kinds of things that are going to happen throughout the season, and I want you to come out here, the Neil the Deal Show, talkandfight.com. Check out weekly what we're going to be talking about, and give you some updates on the teams, what's happening around the league, and then of course my predictions. Right. So my prediction for 2022 for the Toronto Blue Jays is first place in the American League East. We're going to win it this year. The Yankees are not going to get it. Boston's not getting it. And, of course, our nemesis, Tampa. But I think we can pull it off. We get the first place, and then we get a bye in the first round of the playoffs, and that would be awesome. So we have the potential to go right to the World Series and improve on the 91 wins we had last year. We had a great season. Remember, we were one game away from making the playoffs last year. It went down to the last game. So I think they decided this year they don't want to have that issue, and we're just going to start wiping the carpet with people, and they're going to start crushing teams. Like, I'm talking crushing these teams. If our starters can go deep into the other team's lineup, and we get an early lead. We need to have an early leads, and they just won't catch up. And we need to start off quick this season. We want to get right out of the box super quick, win 15 or 16 of the first 20 games, something of that sort, and we'll be right in the mix for sure. So spring training is on right now, guys. We're at the TD Bank in Dunedin, Florida. That's the park, TD Bank Park in Dunedin, Florida. The games will begin March 18th, which will be Friday. and they wrap up on April 5th. The Jays are going to be playing 17 preseason games against, basically they group them depending on where their preseason facilities are. So we'll be playing teams like the Phillies, the Yankees, Pittsburgh Pirates, Atlanta Braves, Detroit Tigers, Baltimore Orioles, and again the home opener uh, April 8th at Skydome will be against the Texas Rangers. So we'll get a new look at Marcus Semien in another uniform. So I'm telling you, this season's looking great, guys. I hope that you guys can join me every Wednesday. It's going to be 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here, talkinfight.com, Major League Baseball live. And I want to thank you again for coming out tonight. I think we should be really excited about our team. I'm over the top excited. And I think, like I said, this season, this could be the season where we actually do some serious damage. And I'm looking at Vladimir Guerrero Jr. winning the home run derby this year, probably win the league home run this year, probably win MVP this year, and all these other guys. They play loose. They love playing with each other, and it's going to be a real fun season. So thanks again for coming out here, talkinfight.com, MLB, Neil the Deal Show. We'll see you on Friday. We'll be talking a little NHL. We know our buddy Austin Powers got suspended for 2 games, but good on him. We'll talk about that on Friday. So 8:30 Friday right here, talkinfight.com. Thanks again, guys, for the likes, the shares, and the subscriptions. Keep them flying. Like, share, and subscribe with all your buddies, friends, and family. All right? So get better, not bitter. The Jays are coming up. I'm super excited. So should you be. We'll see you on Friday. Take care. Have a good evening, guys.